Hello there, and welcome to Bullet Journaling for Chaos Gremlins, Episode 2. How is everyone out there today? Sorry for the delay in getting started. I had some tech difficulties. I could not get the right camera to come up, so the right camera view. Pain in my butt. Yes, the symbol on the book. Say yes to adventures. Talking groovy wallpaper. Groovy wallpaper is cool. Look at James go through World Ember, and I haven't even started yet. My goodness. I really need to get my crap together, huh? Alright. The original butterflies and flowers in the bath. You know what? It was my mother's room before it was my room when I was growing up, and it was a silver wallpaper that had butterflies on it, and I loved it. Not as big of a fan of, like, the flowers that followed it. We're supposed to have our crap together? Well, shit. Yeah, no, I'm here to help you get your crap together and help me get my crap together too. That's what we're all about. We're the Chaos Gremlins here. Oh, hey, that reminds me, guys. Oh, okay. This is a laugh. Just a second here. I gotta get a sheet of paper because where's that notepad? Okay, well, I'll just get a pencil and mime it. Okay, so anyway, so Joshi Koren recently released a video called, or like yesterday I think it was, called 2025 Goal Setting Workshop. I'm like, cool, I could really use some help with goal setting, right? So I went on the, it's a live stream, right? And she records it, and then she makes little things, little videos separately, often pieced together from things she did in her live stream, right? So I was watching her live stream, or, like the recording of her live stream, right? And she's like, okay, so first thing you need to do is you need to go back to your 2024 goals, right? And I'm like, this isn't going to work. What do you mean? You have to have had goals before we're going to start making goals? This is not a workshop. At least it's not my level of workshop. This is the 201. I need the 101, okay? Right? And then, in the first place, I'm thinking about what goals would be good things to set. And I'm like, goals. Yeah, it would be a good idea to have some goals. Let's see. Try not to die. Maybe you're a little bit more advanced than that, right? Clean my room. Take a shower before you smell like a bear and rut. This is where I'm at, guys. I don't know about you. Yeah, wasn't my getting to 2025? Yes. That was totally my goal. Get to 2025 recovery. There we go. That was my plan. Yes, I went to your school of thinking. See, you're in the right place, James. Bullet Journaling for Chaos Gremlins. This is where I'm at, right? I am at the level of planning where I need to plan, right? I don't have 2024 goals to go back and look at and go, and what's still in process, and what's working, and what isn't working, and how can I modify that? Do I want to change my priorities? That was what her workshop was. I admire it. It's great. I'm sure most of the world is probably there. I am not, right? So maybe today we'll do some goal setting together for Chaos Gremlins. Right? People who are at try not to die. I am not a gremlin, I am a dwarf, thank you. No, you see, the reason why I pick gremlins is because, okay, so gremlins are the force of chaos, right? And they break shit. And they don't even need to, a lot of the time. Yeah, gremlins, gnomes, right? You could say goblins, right? We're the force of chaos, right? We're the ones who everybody else is looking at. How are they managing? Wow, Miko, that is awesome. Me, see, this is great. Yeah, Flub says I'm not a gremlin. I'm a dwarf. Thank you. I'm not going to get into the wallpaper conversation, but it sure is funny. Yeah, aim for the weekend, trying not to die. Exactly. Right? Miko says, so my family is talking about having a sit down specifically for me to make some plans and new systems to try to help me, which is shocking, honestly. Miko has recently finally gotten a diagnosis that her friends literally said they were sure was the case several years ago, right? Which was a big pile of neurodiversity, right? I am not going to be specific. That is for Miko's tale to tell. But, you know, basically, if she feels overwhelmed, maybe there's a reason for that, right? So I'm here for you guys. I'm here for the people who feel overwhelmed. That's what this program is about. Oh, right. I got to shut off my sprint timer because we're not doing that today. Quiet. Also, I think I'm going to change the music. I'm going to fiddle around a little bit here because this music is like, right? It's all about like, you know, tension and writing and we don't need that right now. I'm thinking maybe I'll go with like some cyberpunk club music or something. I don't know. Let's see. Or I could turn the music off. That's also an option. Oh, Market Street? That might work. Okay, I'll try that. Hello, the Tiger Writes. Thank you very much for the raid. Roar Books. James, do me a favor because my computer is not in front of me. My keyboard is not in front of me right now. Drop a shout out for him. You are a mod on this channel, right? You might not be. Maybe I have to. Okay, we will do it. How was your stream, Kindar? The Tiger Writes is a writing streamer who is awesome. He is also a Tome Knight, for those of you who are followers of the Game of Tomes channel. And not coming here specifically for the bullet journaling. He's awesome. Alright. Streaming well. 2 chapters today. 1 for draft 2 of Stepping Wild and 1 for the Captain's Heart. Awesome. That's awesome. Alright, so I'm going to get into my book here. I promised you that today I would show you what I did in October, and I would explain the lessons I was learning about it and what I was doing. Ads already? Sorry, I have nothing to do with that, man. Not my fault. Okay. Let me know when you're out of ads. Ads are over for you. Good stuff. How's the music, guys? Is it like relaxing or tension building? I'm not sure. I could switch it. Alright. In the meantime, though, I told you I'd show you what I was doing with October and explain the lessons I was learning as I went so that you would have ideas of what you could do. So in October, my cycle, see, notice that we're doing cyclical planning, right? So my cycles are 30 days long, right? If the month is not, you'd like the music off tonight, we can totally do that. Here we go. Okay, so this is my setup for October. Now notice that I'm doing like cyclical planning. My cycles are 30 days, and if we have extra days in a month that, you know, are longer than 30 days, well, what I'm doing with that is a cushion day, right? And basically it's an excuse to be lazy about shit, right? Like you could do kind of a, I'm going to take a bit of a break, take a little day off, you know? Maybe not worry about making sure this is up to date so much, right? So, as you can see, this is very different from my September layout. For those of you who were here, this was my September layout, and for the calendar, and one of the first things I learned was that I need more space. So I made more space. Most people who are doing bullet journaling, I have since learned, are doing a double page spread like this with their initial calendars, right? So, you know, put in some calendars, sticker art. These are construction paper that have been glued in. They look nice, but I have to warn you that they make the book a lot thicker. They're part of the reason why I have this business going on. And you know, you see that my thingy to hold the book closed is ripping. Because it's struggling. It's working hard. I feel bad for this tab. Anyway. All right, so yeah, harvest was my theme. And my idea was, okay, I get to do all the pretty fall foliage stuff, right? And secondly, you know, harvest is about things coming due, right? Getting to a place of realizing, you know, the results of your work. Yeah, I need thick rubber bands. Oh, hey. You can get notebooks that have thick rubber bands built right in. That's part of how it works. Okay, and you just take it off and open it up. Okay, well, we're gonna go into this later. I've started this one, and I'm gonna talk about this one too. But okay, so yeah, again, the little birthstones are birthdays. That is Erin's birthday. Right? You know, little notes and appointments. I eventually use a different system for those, but there they are now. Here's a list of shit to remember to do. Right there on my first page of my spread for my cycle or my month so that I know what the hell I have to get done. Do I have a panic day every 4 years in February for all the work you've missed? We'll find out the next leap year. I have not been doing this long enough to know. Oh yeah, another thing I suppose I should tell you, right, is that you're going to see a lot of really fancy stuff if you start watching bullet journaling videos, which, you know, I've been watching a lot of them, right? Because I'm right into it and I want to learn how to do it, and then I want to share these ideas here. So I want to tell you it doesn't have to be that fancy, okay? Furthermore, it doesn't have to cost you that much. About 90% of the stickers that I have in this book, I got from the dollar store, okay? Right? This is a dollar store sticker right here from Halloween stuff. Now, these guys weren't. These guys were a fairly expensive little sticker book that I got at Michael's. Here, I'll show you this, what's left of the sticker book, right? It's this kind of deal, right? And there's like several pages. I used a lot of it, but I still have a lot left that I can use. So, and it's a fall theme, right? But there's stuff about outdoor stuff, and there's like flowers. I have a theme I'm going to do called Grow Where You're Planted later on that I'm going to probably use the flowers for, right? And then, you know, I've got some stuff left over for next year too. Here's a whole thing about outdoor camping activities and hiking and stuff. And some woodland creatures. I'm saving the bunny. Stuff like that. This cost $20 Canadian at Michael's. So, I was splurging a little bit, right? You don't have to go all insane out. The guys have been letting me, they're encouraging me because it seems to be of help to me, right? And since it's helping, they would like to encourage me to keep doing it. I just realized I have dirt on my fingers. See, there you go, Chaos Gremlin. Okay. Yeah, journaling vids be like, and this gold leaf sourced from demolished Byzantine chapels. Yes, right? Some of the stuff out there is insane. I want some of it, but to be honest with you, I have to be really careful about what I buy of it because my budget does not support that kind of habit. Like, I want everything that Joshi Corin has, right? And I cannot have it. Not right now, right? Maybe someday, or I can like pick one thing and order it. There are some really amazing, beautiful things out there that I desperately want, but you kind of got to go, and pick and choose. Assuming most Chaos Gremlins like me have to watch their budget, right? Yeah, I hear that. Okay, so, and then these are remember I said I was doing longer journaling pages, about 6 of them, right after my calendar. This time I made sure to make more, I made a pretty frame, but I made more room. This is the side of a stationery, like a set of fancy stationery paper that I had, and I thought the leaf pattern was perfect for a border, so I cut it out and put it there. Right, so, again with the craft or the construction paper. Now, here's another thing that I learned about journaling, right? You'll see that I have 2 unused pages here, right? 2 unused spreads. This makes me sad. Why does this make me sad? Look at this. This I was deliberately setting up and leaving for last, right? Because one thing that I tend to do, and maybe, I don't know, I think it's a neurodiversity, I think it's an autism thing actually, but I leave the best for last, right? When I'm eating food on a plate, you'll always know what my favorite dish was of the stuff that is served because I'll leave a bite of it for last, right? And so I was leaving the bunny setup with the mushrooms and stuff for the Woodlanders because this has personal meaning to me for my last journaling page. And I did not get to use it because I didn't have that much to write about, right? I didn't need the long form journaling the whole month. I only needed it for 4 of the 6 pages. So sadly, I will never get to use this bunny. I could cut this out and move it, but I don't want to do that. Part of the purpose of, having these journals is to go back and reflect on things and, see your progress and learn where you've come from. And I would like to keep this as a nice keepsake, so I don't want to trash it, right? So I'm never going to use this page. This is a sad face for me, right? So I have since learned in the following spreads to do the favorite thing first to make sure I get a chance to use it. This was my extra credit for the month. Now, if you guys were here last time, you'll know that what I was talking about, extra credit is little challenges within the theme that I've set for the cycle that I give myself. And if I do them, then I get a scratch and sniff sticker, right? Which I got from Staples in a pack of stickers intended for teaching aids. And I think it cost me $10, right? So here, right, these different symbols in my relationships, I wanted to make a point of having dinner together. And I was actually thinking about Thanksgiving because Canada's Thanksgiving is in October. And I was thinking about getting together with the family for Thanksgiving, which we did, right? Then we have domestic, right? I had cleaned the fridge and cupboards, which I cleaned. I switched tasks, right? But I didn't want to cross that out. What I did instead was a thorough clean of the living space and table to make room for, the family to come. And I it was a lot of work. So I gave myself credit for that, even though it wasn't specifically the cupboards and fridge, right? For career, the diamond, right? Finish audiobook Kickstarter stuff. I did not give myself credit for that because I did not do it. I did, however, get it started. So that was really useful in that it was work that I'd been putting off. I'd created a wall of awful around it because it was so late. And I finally said, it's never going to get done if you don't actually just do it. So, put on your big girl panties, Sable, and go do it. So I did. For therapy and self-improvement, I decided to do some active EMDR. EMDR stands for eye movement. What does the D stand for? I don't remember what the other two stand for at the moment. Yeah, but basically, it's using rapid eye movement, right, or other things to process from, what we think of as left or right brain, although that's not really entirely accurate, helps to process short-term memory to long-term memory, and it can be very effective in helping treat trauma, right? But you can find videos of it on YouTube where people are actually doing the treatment stuff. If you don't have an EMDR therapist in your area, right, you can just turn on YouTube and people are doing it there for free, guys, right? Just go watch a video and do it. Make sure that it's somebody who's actually doing the therapy, right? There's a way to teach that. They've done the course, right? And there you go. And it works best with repetition, right? The idea is you associate, like you concentrate really hard on focusing on a traumatic event that makes you uncomfortable. Then you do some rapid eye movement stuff while you're doing that, right? It also, occasionally people also do it with it's bilateral stimulation. So sometimes people use sounds. I didn't find the sounds, one ear, then the other ear sounds. I didn't find that very effective for me. I needed the visual, but whatever works for you, right? The audio works better for some people, right? If you're physically there, there's also a thing, emotional freedom technique is what I learned it as, right? And it was a thing that was big in the New Age scene for a while. It's about tapping on certain pressure points, and it also uses bilateral stimulation. So that's something about that forces your brain to help process things from short-term memory to long-term memory. And one of the prevailing theories about the things that cause PTSD is that you're having difficulty processing something that is emotionally overwhelming to long-term memory. So because it's still stuck in short-term memory, it keeps causing problems and it keeps coming back up like it's still happening, right? But you don't have to, you can do different things. You can do different things to break that, and that's one of the methods that they use, right? So, and it helped, right? For social and activism, I gave myself the option to donate food to the food bank. Harvest. I haven't done that yet. I'm put it back on my list for December. In spiritual practice, I said ritual of gratitude. I am a neo-pagan, for those of you who do not know, and my spirituality is earth-based, right? So I did a ritual of gratitude and offering at Thanksgiving with my family because my daughter is also a pagan. Her choice. I don't force religion on my kids. So, for health and, whatnot, right? Health and exercise, prepare November meals and freeze. And I did that. I prepared a bunch of meals ahead of time for November and I froze them in advance so that I would have things that I could just grab and eat in November, which of course is the month of big writing months. And I was doing Game of Tomes and I don't want to spend the time to cook, right? Hey babe, good to see you. Hello. Hello. For happiness, I said, try a food never tried before, right? I don't remember what it was that I tried, but I really liked it. So, that's something, if in particular, if you have like texture issues, right? Neurodiverse people often really struggle with food they're not sure about. And if you also have food allergies and stuff like me, it can make it doubly difficult because you're like, well, is this safe? I don't know, right? So, trying a new food is always a bit of an adventure, and you kind of gotta psych yourself up for it, right? And then in my reading category, I had read a book about food, which again, I did not do. I'm obviously not doing the reading category, so I dropped it eventually, but yeah. And see, I did 5 of them, so I got 5 scratch and sniff stickers, which they smell so good. All right, so moving on, I did my mood tracker in a similar pattern to the last one because I thought it worked out pretty well, right? Gave it a little bit more decoration. This is torn construction paper art that has then been, drawn on with paint markers, right? And I changed my mood scale a little bit. I'm still adjusting what I'm tracking with this. Right? I think, I don't remember I think I changed like one thing in this from the last month, but I made the colors more clear so that they're easier to see, and there they are reflected. Now, I did put the 31st on my mood tracker. Technically, it's not part of my cycle, but I thought, I might want to know. As you can see, I have I'm a pretty happy person. But sometimes there can be, because of the PTSD especially, there can be extremes, right? Switches that, and within the course of a day sometimes. I had a lot of overstim. As you can see, there's a lot of orange, right? And I had some anxiety, a little bit of being pissed off at things here and there. Mostly, it was okay though. I rarely felt meh, but I had a couple of those days too. So good to know. And then, like I said, that goes with this. This is I created this, I got the idea from watching other videos, but this is my unique tracker that I use, right? Mood log and sleep tracker, because they go together, right? If you're not getting enough sleep, then you're not going to feel very good. And you're, more likely to be depressed or irritable or whatever, but other things go with that, like whether it's your period or how close to your period it is, right? Moon phase. Some people believe that has a bearing on things. And like I said last time, poop tracker, because I suffer from IBS and often they are linked, right? Like if I'm really anxious, then my guts clamp up, basically. So, and then here I put some inspirational quotes. This is a thing I learned in the process of the journaling here, is when you make a colossal error, you can glue paper over it and cover it up, and then you can write something different, or you can put a sticker on it, right? So there's a tip for you. If you make something, that is not working, right, then you can cover it up and do it something else, and it looks just fine. This is that same paper from which I got the where is it? This border here, right? So I just saved part of the paper. As you can see, I made extensive use of that $20 sticker book, right? See, now look at this. This was something that was really, really useful to me. I had this day here, right? I want to highlight this. I had 4 hours of sleep, and then I got a 3-hour nap, and the next day, guts cramped up, right? Unhappy face. Clearly, they're linked. Now, why is the question, right? Now, I can't read that, so I'm going to have to turn this around, sorry, because it's small, but where was it? Yeah, busy day, bad sleep. I cleaned my desk, so there was dust everywhere. I had an asthma attack in the middle of the night. That tends to create anxiety. Bad day, right, overall for that. And that's why things didn't work out very well. And you learned something, right? That's the kind of shit you want to see. It's not, this stuff with like, oh, I slept 7.5 hours or 8 hours and I felt great. No, you're not looking for that. That's good, but that's not the point. You're looking for stuff like this. When do things go wrong? And if they go wrong, why do they go wrong? And you try to figure it out, right? So, yeah. Meds tracker. If I use different symbols this time, little stickers to make it pretty. I love these little coffee cup stickers. I got them from the fall one. I'm out of them now. I'm sad because I love them. But meh, what do you do? Right? The point is to use things in your journal, right? Because the point is to make it pretty so that you'll actually use it. So if you like it, it's fun, and then you do stuff with it and you use the planning, right? So, don't hold back on your stickers. There's another piece of advice for you. If you got some really pretty stickers or some gorgeous washi tape and you're like, I want to save this for something special. No, man, just use it, right? Use it for where it's appropriate, because the whole point is to make this special by using the things. So then it becomes fun, right? So if I take my meds properly and on time all week, then I get another sticker. These are all apple scented stickers because it's, harvest was my theme. Here's my exercise tracker. There's my key, which I've created. So like, I did a lot of variety of exercise. I was still painting my fence at this time. So a lot of these O's for other was me painting my fence, right? It was a very physical job. So I figured it counted as like legitimate exercise. Occasionally I don't do exercise. This was a void day, right? I did not do exercise that day. I'm pretty sure that was the 31st. I didn't get time. I was, Halloween, right? Plus I was, doing a streaming for Game of Thrones because the event had started. I just didn't do exercise that day. Meh, whatever. You know what? You're allowed to skip a day occasionally of these things, right? As long as you don't let that become like 7 days, 1 day is fine. You're allowed to do that. It's okay. Which brings me actually to another topic that I wanted to talk about. So I've been getting a lot of feedback on social media, particularly Blue Sky, which is kind of my primary social media that isn't Twitch or Discord now. And I was, a couple people were talking about how things like they start journaling and then they don't keep it up. And then they feel ashamed because they haven't kept it up. And then they stop doing it. And then they, try again later, right? Maybe someday they'll actually finish it. And I went, well, why not just incorporate that into your system? Right? If you didn't journal that day, create a symbol for, I don't fucking know, because I didn't do it, right? That's okay. That's part of what you're tracking. I saw this, this health channel, I don't remember what it was called, Med Health or something like that on YouTube, right? Where a guy it's not normally about bullet journaling, that channel, but a guy did a thing about bullet journaling as a mental health practice, right? And he said, you're tracking what is, right? This is not about your aspirations. This is about what is actually going on so that you can see where there are difficulties and fix them. So if you don't journal that day, that's information. That's important information that you need to keep track of so that you know what is knocking you off the pedestal, right? Knocking you off the track. Yeah. And see, now Satrium's got great advice here, right? He says, also one important thing to throw in, you are journaling for yourself, right? There's no right or wrong way to do it. If it helps you, you are doing it correctly. Exactly. That's the whole point of making all this stuff for yourself and not buying a prearranged planner, right? You're making the planner to fit your needs. Nobody is going to have this in their planner, right? That you can buy at Staples, okay? It's not going to happen, but this really works for me. This is like an essential functionality tracker for me. That's the point. Also, nobody's ever going to see it from but you unless you want to show them. I'm showing you because I'm like, this is really helping me and I want to help other people. So I'm choosing to show it to you. But you might never have seen this, right? Nobody's looking at this but me. So, yeah, right? You can incorporate that. Yeah, Satrium says, for me, I just have a basic sleep tracker and then my daily ramblings to make sense of my emotional state. There you are. That's all you really need, guys. If you don't need all this other shit, don't do it, right? Do what works for you. So if there's too much, right? And that's the other thing. You learn about what's going to work for you and what isn't. And some stuff's not going to get used. And that's okay, right? I have blank pages in here that I did not write in because I did not need to write in these blank pages that month. I'm sad that I didn't get to write on the page with the pretty bunny, but whatever. I didn't do it. Okay. Here I have, I dropped the reading category because I wasn't doing it. I read. I just don't necessarily read what I'm directing myself to read, right? So... And I have varying times to read. Sometimes I have lots of time for it. Sometimes I don't have much time for it. So this was a pointless category and I dropped it. I didn't do it. I made this category for 3 months and didn't do it at any one of them. So I went, okay, clearly that's not going to work for me. I dropped it. Right? Yeah. You can, if you don't remember what you did and it's been 3 days since you journaled, put a question mark. Right? Or put a void. I didn't do it. Whatever. You can put that into your system. Okay. Productivity tracker. These are the made the world my bitch days. I ran out of acorns and had to use, I was kicking ass and taking names in October. To be fair, it's one of my favorite times of year. I was very excited about Game of Thrones coming up. Right? So I was like, yeah. It was easy to do. This, you'll notice that I have ripped the edges of this page deliberately. That was to go with the theme of the ripped construction paper, right? But part of the purpose is this is something that they call Dutch doors, right? I don't know why, but the idea is that you do something else change the shape of the page so that it works differently. You can cut windows into it or, other little designs or whatever. And you can also make the edge of the paper smaller. And the reason why I did that is so that it would be easy to find and flip through when I was putting my fingers along the side of the journal. Right. Now, as I've added more, this has become less apparent, but at the time, really useful. My self-care bingo. I was going to give myself a sticker, scratch and sniff sticker if I did it all. I did not do it all. I now have determined I am being too hard on myself. I have never done it all, right? So I think that I can, if I get a bingo, I should get a sticker, in which case I'm owed I don't know, it looks like 2 stickers here. So, all right, but the spirals mark off what I've done. Now you can draw these in, you can write stuff in, but in my case, I had that sticker book full of stuff for fall, right? So it had stuff in it like warm mittens, right? So, there's a thing I could do for my self-care. So I'll put that in the self-care, right? Or, I thought, well, if we're going to go with warm mittens, why not warm socks and warm slippers, right? I got myself the slippers, not the socks. This one is, what does that say? Stay inside and relax. Well, there's a good advice for the fall, right? To have a good time. Seek the outdoors, this one says. So, go out, get outside, enjoy yourself, right? Time for apple cider. I got myself some apple cider. Miko, I have help for you. This is helping me not be so hard on myself, right? If I use the stickers as rewards, but you can use other things for rewards. If you're not motivated by scratch and sniff stickers, yeah, you do not have to make it this fancy at all. I do it this fancy because I like it, because it makes it into an art project where I get to exercise my creativity, and thus it's interesting and I do it because it engages my Chaos Gremlin ADHD brain, right? That's why I do it this way. You don't have to do any of this, right? The basic bullet journaling method is a list. That's it. What you need is a notebook and a pen. That is all you require. But I'm showing you what you can do with it if you want to. If you're like me and the more color and creativity and noise something has, the more interesting it is to you, right? And the more your brain will engage with it, this could be helpful. Yeah, you don't have to do any of this. This is ideas, right? Yeah, Flub has stocked up on stickers and washi tape she showed me last night. It's really cool. She's got some cool stuff. I asked her where she got it. Feel free to drop that link in the chat, by the way, there, Flub, or tell people where to look it up. What was it called? It's a place in the UK. If you're in the UK, this would be, this looks like a reasonably priced place to do journal shopping, journal supply shopping, where the shipping is not going to kill you, right? So... but yeah, anyway, that's stuff. This was Jump in the Leaves, which I did because I'm 5 and it was fun and that was good for my self-care. So yeah, you can make this individually any way you want, right? An idea that I flat out stole from the self-care mafia. Thank you. Trigger log. I expanded the categories this time. I have like 5 categories now instead of 4, right? The trigger, what happened that caused the triggering situation? Feeling, right? How did I feel emotionally in response to that? Physical, what were the physical symptoms that happened in relation to that? Like, did my heart start beating really fast? Did I have trouble with my bowels for a couple days? Did I start sweating? That's rare. That doesn't normally happen to me. But, I mean, these are the kinds of things that it could be. But stuff like that. Was I clenching my jaw? That's what you put in there. Action. What I did about it, right? What I did to try to make the situation better. And result. Did it work? Was it helpful? Whatever it was that I did. So... last month, you'll recall that I had, I ran out of room in my mirror design, like in September I ran out of room there. Yeah, there, see, it goes right off the mirror, and I only have the 4 categories, so I modified it for 5 to be a little bit more, a little bit clearer about what I did and whether or not it worked. Under the Rowan Trees is that store that Flub got her supplies at. They do ship abroad. They had some very, very pretty stickers in there I was really impressed by. Thank you, Flub. Awesome. I do not know anything with makeshift building doors. Are deerskin doors a thing? Almost certainly. I know that they were certainly used in First Nations stuff, but... all right, hygiene tracker. When was the last time I washed my face, brushed my teeth, took a shower? I really am not very good at taking a shower because, as I said last week, I used to be in the habit of taking a bath like almost every day for bad bowel issues because I needed to do it to, just make things move properly, or at least somewhat. And when my guts got better, I stopped taking daily baths. So I had now gotten out of the habit of planning a bath or a shower every couple of days. And sometimes it's like, oh, it's been like a week since I had a shower. I'm going to go get into it. So, yeah, hygiene tracker, so that I remember to do all these things. Eventually, I'm going to get to a point where I'm going to take some of this stuff off, but you never know. Okay, so these are my short journaling pages this month. And I did them with the construction paper. This actually took up a lot of bulk. And I found that with the felt pen, the construction paper was difficult to write on. The ink bled a lot. But otherwise, this worked really great. I like the setup. It's pretty. And then I added these things in here. Oh, there's my title for the cycle and the dates that I did with sticker art. So Natalia was doing a thing for Game of Tomes participants where she was doing Preptober homework. And I added, it was week 1, week 2. So I created, this is again that paper where I got the border from. I taped little side columns onto the edges of the weeks so that I had room for that homework, right? And where I didn't need all the space, I did a smaller one. So, so there's another example. You can add additional space by taping in pages or parts of pages, right? And, putting it in there in a way that makes it accessible, and, you don't have to stay with the limits of the page as it's described, right? Okay. I did not use this note space. So, like, at the beginning of November, my husband bought me a bunch of digital stickers. They're designed for use with OneNote, or GoodNotes, which is a digital journaling app. But they also, most of them came with, JPEGs or whatever that you could print. So I printed them on sticker paper, and I put them in my book. And because I had this blank space here, I put that in there after the fact. Oh, this is another little thing that you can do with journals. A little piece of advice here that, maybe it might help you. But by the way, there will be more sweary stickers later on because he bought me a bunch of sweary digital stickers because he knows it appeals to my sense of humor. Also, you may have noticed I swear a little bit. I am Canadian. So... there'll be a lot more of that. Anyway, this little pumpkin my granddaughter made. And we were messing around with craft supplies at Thanksgiving, and she says, "Here, Grandma, you keep this." So I glued it into my journal so I would always have it. It's another thing you can do with your journal. It can be a memory keeper. You can keep little tidbits of things that you want to remember, right? So, anyway, more variations on a theme here. As you can see, I didn't use the note space a lot in October, which is a shame because I thought I did a really good job of making pretty little spaces. Right, Flub? Well, F me, I never noticed you swearing. Yeah, no shit. Yeah. So, but then I put in the stickers so I would giggle later, right? And clearly it worked because I'm giggling now. I did sort of use the space. I put one thing in it, and then I have more sweary stickers. There's more of my got homework stuff. And this is short form journal. Okay, so I journal in prose and kind of flow of consciousness. And this is what happened today. If I need something longer, that's what the long form journaling pages are for back here. But mostly this is what I do. At the end of the day, as I'm winding down, about the time I take my pill and go to bed, theoretically, I, write in here, this is what happened in the day. I don't worry about paragraphs. I don't censor myself. I just write it. If whatever's on my mind, flow of consciousness, this is what I did today. Things I want to know. This is really essential for me as well, because then I can do things like, and this is what helps me to get, in particular, the ADHD stuff, right? Because, oh, what day did I do that? Flip, flip, flip. Oh, that was Tuesday, right? Also, when I write something down, I'm more likely to remember it. Yeah, I love the take my pill and go to bed, theoretically. I have not been doing very good at that the past little while. In part, it's because all the people I want to talk to have been up at that hour. Well, not all the people, but a lot of them, right? So I'm like, oh, and now I'm going to hang out with my friends because I'm a big girl and I don't want to miss anything. And, then it's 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm going to bed like last night. But that's okay. I still got 7 hours sleep, so I'm all right. Oh, yeah, we're going to get into compass and rulers. I start using them too, but not until the following month. Other than, this is how I made this layout, right? Oh, I should show you guys, because I haven't yet, have I? Okay, ruler. Look at this lovely old-fashioned ruler. I love this ruler. I don't even know where I got it. Probably had it since I was a kid and probably got it from my mother. Looks like something they made in the 40s, right? But, okay. So, in order to decide if you're going to make windows like this, which is basically an 8-window layout, right? 4 on each page. So, basically, they're divided into quarters, and you can make it that simple if you wanted. If you don't want, like, white space around them, you don't have to do that. You could just, line. There, you're done, right? And then 7 of those days, those spaces are taken up with your weekly layout for that note. And then 1 space for whatever, notes, pictures, doodles, put a sticky note there, see, with your shopping list, whatever, right? Okay, so how you do that, you measure how wide it is across. Right? Find the middle. In this case, this is about 13 centimeters across. So at about 6.5 centimeters, that's the middle. So, I loosely draw a pencil line to show where the middle is. Or in this case, because I knew I wanted white space, I loosely gave it like I went to 7 and 6 and I drew parallel lines roughly so that I would know. You can see that more in my November layout, so I'll show you that later, but that's kind of the idea. And then you measure this way and find the middle, right? In this case, it was 21 centimeters. No, yeah, 21 centimeters. No, 20.5 centimeters? 21 centimeters, yeah. So the middle being like 10.5, so that's the middle line there. And then that gives you a sense of spacing. Yeah. Flub says, most of the time we have to chase her to bed. FOMO, that's right. And I have a plastic ruler that's so old I'm struggling to see the measurements. Yeah, see? Use what you have on hand. You don't need to get fancy things unless you want to. Right, construction paper and stationery supplies glued and taped, is what a lot of this is, plus stickers. So anyway, that's how you do this particular weekly layout. There are different ways to do weekly layouts. Sometimes people divide pages into thirds. If you prefer to write a more horizontal kind of pattern, you can do that. There's a million ways to do it. We will get into those later, but I said I was going to start with what I was doing, and that's what I'm doing. So I had a page for Halloween. Didn't really write a lot on it. This is me reinventing the wheel. Right? This was important. Things that I should not forget to do. Someone tell you no. Why am I telling you no, Miko? Right? But, yeah, it's exactly what happened at the end of movie night. I was hanging out and I was enjoying being with people that I like hanging out with. So, I need to clean, but I am falling asleep. Well, okay, because I know it will be a big pain in your ass if you don't clean, I'm going to tell you no falling asleep. But I will have to say that I would sleep and I would clean later. I am prioritizing my sleep. So, yeah, this is important stuff. This doesn't work very well for me. That's one thing I learned is that this doesn't work. But there is a thing that actually exists in bullet journaling. It's even part of the bullet journaling method called a future log, right? Which kind of sets you up for things that you need to remember in the course of the next month or few months or 28-day cycle or whatever it is that you're doing, right? So but I hadn't seen that. I didn't know what a future log was when I started doing this, so I kind of reinvented the wheel, and it didn't work as well. This is a wheel with bumps. You know, it's got points on it, okay? It's square. So, that's something I started doing for December, actually. So, okay, so here's the part that I really want to recommend to Miko in particular, okay? This is daily wins and gratitude log, right? So what this is, you have done something worth noting every day. If you generally have the feeling like, I did nothing today, I accomplished nothing at all, right? No, you probably did. Even if it was drag my sad, sorry ass out of bed when I was feeling like hell because I promised somebody I would go to the store, whatever it is, right? You did something. So note it, right? Write it down so that you can celebrate your accomplishments for yourself later. And then when you go back, you will realize I actually did quite a lot. Like, if there's a lot of stuff where, especially if you're dealing with mental health problems or the wall of awful that comes from the chaos of neurodiversity, you often end up thinking that you've accomplished nothing and that you're spinning your wheels and getting nowhere. But if you go back through here, you'll probably find at least maybe a dozen things where my daily win was, this was really difficult for me, but I did it anyway, right? And hey, that's a win. That's worth celebrating. I know, Miko. Miko says every single day I struggle with the I did absolutely nothing thing. Yeah, well, you'll find something, got dressed. Sometimes that's really hard, I got dressed. Good for you. You got dressed. Way to go. Honestly. Right? Because sometimes that is not an easy thing to do. So acknowledge it. And then you will quickly see that this will rapidly develop. When you go back over it, you'll see, I accomplished a lot more than I thought I did. It's what I'm finding anyway. Gratitude log. Similar deal. Find something to be grateful for every day. What do you write in it? I bet people... Here, why don't I share some of the stuff that I have written for some of these things? Okay, October 1st, daily wins. Okay, we're going to do daily wins first. We're going to do the first 5. Okay? Okay, October 1st, all kinds of bureaucratic bullshit done today. October 2nd, got reach booklet done. This is a booklet we were doing to help somebody if they wanted to, say, host events or reach out to a library, right? October 3rd, saw raccoons for the first time. October 4th, yeah, I live in Canada. I lived in downtown Vancouver and Surrey. I have never, until recently, October 3rd, 2024, seen a raccoon. Right? There you go. Miko, exactly. That's exactly the kind of thing we're talking about. Miko says, my win today is doing all the medical calls I needed to do, especially without reminder. Hell yeah. Because that shit is hard. And good for you for doing it. And you didn't need to be reminded. Awesome. Way to go. That's great. Congratulations. That's a hell of an accomplishment. Right? Anyway, you get the idea, right? October 4th, finished most of scene 5 and 6. Right? October 5th, dealt with a friend and hurt feelings. Right? There you go. Some ideas for daily wins, right? Gratitude log. Something to be grateful for every day. First 5 days. October 1st, grateful for all the therapy tools I've received. October 2nd, grateful for naps. And that I can take them now. October 3rd, grateful I finally saw raccoons. Yes. October 4th, grateful for Sunny. Sunny is a friend of mine. My sister in spirit. October 5th, grateful for crafting and journaling. There you go. Right? October 6th was grateful for funny, nerdy movies. I believe that was the day I watched Deadpool and Wolverine. Fucking hilarious. Anyway, Yeah. I had some extra space left over, so I tend to put inspirational quotes that have to do with the theme that I am working on for that particular cycle and some art. Right? I love these little stickers. And I look them up and I usually find them on Brady Quote. I type in harvest quotes and pick something. Here I thought these were really great. For daily wins, I found, the law of harvest is to reap more than you sow. Sow an act and you reap a habit. Sow a habit and you reap a character. Sow a character and you reap a destiny. A guy named James Allen wrote that. Here, I wrote, the thankful receiver bears a plentiful harvest. A quote from William Blake. Perfect for the gratitude log, right? Okay. I told you guys about this before. Oh, wait. There's one thing I wanted to mention in the mood log here. I also started tracking meditation and mindfulness exercises when I did them, because by this time, I used to do them every day as part of my therapy. I don't do it anymore, right? But I do need to keep up with it at least every few days. I don't think I did it enough in October. Wherever I put a star, that's where I actually did it. So I definitely need to, I realized I needed to do more. So I'm trying to do it every second day in December, roughly. I feel guilty for taking naps. Taking a nap, therefore, is a win. Sleep is good. Okay, this is my adulting Tetris game, right? For you, the object is to fill the boards. I filled both boards in October. I was kicking some ass and taking some names there. But, so the things that this is all shit that is adulting that I don't like to do. And, I made it easier for me to get the zigzags and much harder for me to get the really useful pieces like the long one and the square, right? So this is went to the store. Remember when I showed this last week, I said I changed that from went to the store to went out. I left the house, right? Cleaned something. I tend to do these things almost every day, but I still don't like them. So good for me. I got a point, right? Got dressed. I don't do that every day. I only do that on the days when I need to go out or when I need to be on camera. I still haven't done my hair this morning. You're not going to see my hair. Also, it's still wet because I had a shower last night right before I went to bed, which is part of why I was up so late, is I was waiting for my hair to dry, and it's still not dry entirely. So that's, I can't really do anything with my hair until it's actually dry because it just tangles. It's really long. So it's, whatever. But I would give myself the points for getting dressed. I am not here in my pajamas. This is actual clothes. I knew you would see the actual clothes, right? I washed my face, I brushed my teeth, I did all the things. Okay, business stuff. But what I mean by that is like marketing. I hate that shit. I hate it. Hate, right? I also hate, doing math. I always have nervousness when I'm making a Patreon post. I'm like, what do I talk about? I find that stuff really difficult. So I give myself a point for that. This is a really hard thing for me. Difficult phone call, bureaucracy. I hate bureaucracy. I hate making phone calls, right? I would give myself that for those medical calls you did there, Miko, right? I might give myself a couple of them if it was a lot of calls and it was really hard. Talk to my parents. I always find that stressful. So I give myself a square if I did that. And by pet care, I mean I played with the dog for 45 minutes. I took the cat outside, even though the weather is kind of crappy. I don't mean the basic, I patted you, I gave you food. I'm not talking about the stuff that is basic care for your pets maintenance. I gave you love. You crawled in my lap and I scratched your ears. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about stuff that's work, right? That's what I get that for. So I did a lot of that in October, largely because it was a really beautiful weather time. It often is around here. It's the reason why it's my favorite time of year. And I took the old man cat out a lot and played with the dog a lot. So took the dog for a walk. Okay. So remember I said that halfway through the month last time I started doing a food tracker. When did I eat? Right? How much did I eat? I did that for the whole month in October, and basically it's a really simple system where I'm writing down the time I ate and what it was, right? So like, usually I have about 2 meals a day, right? I did, and before anybody gets on my butt about that, I am 5 feet tall and I weigh 108 pounds. I don't need a lot of food, right? I'm not starving myself. I eat when I'm hungry. But, like, I don't need full meals every, 3 times a day, right? So, I just put on weight, like, a lot of it when I do that. Because I'm just not that active either. I'm a writer. I do exercise every day, but I spend a lot of time at this desk. Also, I'm getting older. My metabolism just isn't as high. So, but the point is, I often do forget to eat, right? Because I get involved in my projects, and I'm used to ignoring the needs of my body because in my past, if it wasn't dinner time, you weren't going to get any food. So there was no point in worrying about being hungry, so you just learn to ignore that kind of stuff, right? And that's not healthy, right? I need to be more aware of my body and its needs. So that's what this is about, right? So on the 1st, I had a snack at 4 p.m. I had dinner at 8:30, and then I had a snack at 1 o'clock in the morning, right? I do that a lot. On the other hand, this was not so great a day. I don't know what I was doing. I ate dinner at 6:30 and I didn't eat anything else that day. That's nonsense. Why didn't I eat? Like, you need to eat more than once a day, right? But remember, this is what is, not your aspirations. This is what you're actually doing. So that's what I'm tracking, right? And I put October 31st there because perfect 30-day cycle, right? Yeah. Phone calls are evil. Miko agrees. She says, hi, I'd be kind of getting one of those if I was doing what I should be doing. Moogle crapped all over the laundry room and I have to go clean it up. Oh, no. Oh, that's awful. Oh, hello. Thank you for the follow, Sam Wicker. Good to meet you. We're doing bullet journaling stream today, but we normally do writing streams. And, yeah. Thanks for following. Yeah, Miko says, I'm guilty of only eating dinner 9 times out of 10. That's not good. You need to eat more in a day than that. You've got to distribute your calories more over the course of a day. Yeah, nice to meet you. Hello. Yeah, this is a stream I'll normally be doing on my own channel, Sable Aradia. I might keep it here, I don't know, but I just started doing it. It's just that I run both channels and technical issues. I kind of have to stay on this channel right now, but this is the channel for Game of Tomes, which is an event for writers. We run it during the NaNoWriMo month, so November, April, and July. There is our website, and that is, that's, but we're also a year-round community. We've become that now, and this is largely, it's a largely overlapping community, so it makes sense for me to do the stream here as well. Basically, we try to keep a writing lobby up most of the time, which people can just come and hang out and write. There's some quiet background fire noises, and mostly it's just a place to connect with other writers when we're in the off season. But yeah, thanks for stopping in. I'm talking about bullet journaling today because this is something I've started doing recently to get my shit together, and maybe it can help other people get their shit together. So I'm showing people what I'm doing. If you have ideas from it, you can borrow them. I borrowed a lot of them. If you don't, if you're like, this looks like too much work for you, you don't have to do all this. It's just that I like to tend to be really creative, and I like color and noise, and that keeps me engaged because I am an ADHD poster child. So that is why I do things this way. You don't have to do anything this way. It's awesome, says Sam. I'm glad I found you. Maybe I'll be able to join the challenges in 2025. I really hope you will. That would be lovely to have you. We also tell a story around the events of the game. And so you will be seeing what we call lore videos based in the plot line of the world we've created. Our next one I'm hoping to do around the winter solstice. It'll be sometime in the Christmas season, assuming I get it done. And the community's really friendly, as you can see. Thanks, Nova. That's awesome. All right, so this is fun. The Bank of Us. Saveopoly. My whole family loves this game. Basically, you create a Monopoly board. You determine in each property and thingy that there is, how much money you're going to save. Roll the dice once a week. Right? We're building up our savings account very effectively by doing this. Right? It's really very helpful. Here's the thing that you do each week, like roll the dice each week. At Go, you collect $100 to splurge. It could be $200. It's supposed to be collect $200 in the Monopoly game. But we're broke. So I'm like, nah, you only get to collect $100. But you do, because that's a reward for saving. So if you land on that square, you get to spend some money for yourself, do something silly, right? Chance, roll the dice, follow the card. Here's the list of the card stuff here. It's stuff like advance 5 spaces, go to jail, do not pass go, do not collect $200. You have to roll a 1 to get out of there, right? And then you keep saving like $100 each week or something until you do. Go back 3 spaces, stuff like that, right? You can look up Saveopoly boards to figure out how to design your own and set the cost for whatever you want. This is part of the optional journal section, but we have been using this ever since, and I'm moving it to my long-term journal now because it is a feature. Are we the dark side now with cookies? We totally are. Right, community chest, roll die, multiply by 10, save that amount. Go to jail, save $100, need to roll a 1 to get out. So, as long as you're stuck in there, you roll a 1, you put aside $100. Just visiting, be glad you're not staying. So, we're on just visiting this week. We're not saving anything, because that's where we landed. This year is where I started keeping track. Now, I remember I'm doing things in cycles, so I'm not doing it according to dates. This is, like, where we landed. We love this game. It's fun. Woodland Friends. I had a bunch of Woodland Friends stickers, so I associated them with a bunch of people that I know in the community. A lot of you who are in the community will recognize some of these names. If I thought it could suit them and they were a friend, I put them on here. So, yeah. So, I can think of, I can think of my friends when I see it, right? So, it's just a little thing I did for myself. Now, this is a thing. Yeah, I was on the dark side, but we did have cookies. See, how the game works, right, for Game of Tomes is that you join a team, a house, right, and write words. Your words are accumulated or counted cumulatively for your house. The house with the most words at the end of the month wins. What do you win? Bragging rights. Good for you. Congratulations. That's what you win, right? In November, we have eliminations. There is a group called the Undead Horde who are coming for the houses. You start out with the Night Monarch, right? Notice I am not on the friend page. No, that's because you're my partner, not my friend. Also, did I have a Wolverine sticker? Did I? No. Okay? So, nah. Anyway. I love you, baby. Sarah, he's my husband. Anyway, yeah. So, each week, or there's 5 houses, so each 6 days in November, the house with the least number of words is eliminated. They go on a wheel, all the names. 1/3 of the house members are drafted to the undead horde and must write for the horde for the remainder of the event. And 2/3 have to pick another house to support. I didn't have any red pandas. I didn't have any kitty cats. Come on, guys, cut me a break here. It was if I happened to have a sticker that I thought suited that person, I put it on the thing. Give me a break. Meh. You know what? You guys could buy me some red panda stickers. And you could, like, you know, for like Christmas and stuff. I got a birthday coming up in March. I'm just saying, it's my 50th birthday in March, guys. Yes, I had no tigers either. Exactly. I mean, would you have liked me to have represented you as a raccoon, James? Come on, that seems, like, inappropriate. Miko, would you have liked to have been a, I don't know, a bird? Come on. Nah. So, meh. You bought me wig nose. That's true. And I used wig nose. You know what? I could have put a wig nose on here to represent you. Anyway, okay. Fall in love. This is a thing where I had all these little fall activity stickers. And so I went, hey, this is stuff we could do to build my relationship with my partners associated with fall. Yeah, Timu has awesome deals on stickers, just saying, if you can deal with all the pop-ups. Yeah, actually, I just shared a link to Red Pandas there. I think it's Timu that I shared the link in my Discord from, actually. Can you look at the hut you sent me? It looks like it's gonna fall apart in the next few years, but it does look feasible, Magpie. That's true. You probably could have been one of the raccoons. I am sorry, Miko. You're right. She says she identifies as a trash panda. That's awesome. Yeah, Temu. I think that's where I saved the most recent... Where did I put it? I have a bullet journaling channel now. No, I was notebook therapy I saved there. She also doesn't have a dragon. That's right. I do not. That works? Okay, perfect. Alright, so I had these little stickers that had little fall activities like, you know, bonfires and blankets. Right? Stay inside and relax. Let's get cozy. You know, leaves are falling. Let's go hiking, right? So I put some of those in there, and then I filled out the rest of them with stuff that they do. Like, you'd think the yard work wouldn't exactly be a romantic time, but it's spending quality time with your spouse. I do a lot of that. Jamie and I do a lot of, like, Erin and I do a lot of writing and creative tasks together, and we watch our shows together, right? Parallel play a lot of the time. Jamie's not into parallel play, but he's really into, like, you know, when you're both doing a task together. So we do a lot of domestic stuff together. You know, we clean the kitchen, you know, or I clean the kitchen while he's doing dishes, you know. Yard work together is fun. So we also like to do physical stuff together. Erin and I cannot do that because Erin is not that mobile, right? You know, so we do other things. So, you know, it's ways to get close to your partners, right? One of the things about PTSD is it can make relationships difficult because either, you know, part of the source of trauma can be relationships. So you end up doing avoidance strategies where it's like, you know, oh, I'm, you know, throwing myself into work so I don't have to think about tenth stuff, or, you know, I've got a wall of awful in terms of, you know, going out because the last couple of times we tried to go out, it just did not go well, right? Or maybe you're afraid to be vulnerable, or, you know, maybe you're experiencing an emotional numbness kind of thing and you're not sure how to reach through that to connect, or, you know, maybe you're having an emotional flashback and you're just in a panicked mood that day and you're not sure, for anybody, right? So yeah, all these different things can be a factor. So working on building your relationships and making a conscious effort to do so can be very helpful. Yeah. Erin says, for those of you who just got here, yes, she has 2 husbands. Yes, I do. I'm legally married to Erin, and Jamie is also part of our relationship. Yeah. There are 6 adults currently living here. There will be 5 in a month. I don't know if you heard there, dear, but Gareth found a place to stay. So, all right. So, Cushion Day. I made a little Halloween mural just for the sake of making one because I had a bunch of Halloween stickers. I was trying to find. As you can see, I have a Minecraft witch here. Yes, I like Minecraft. I have a set of Minecraft stickers. Yes. So, I put them there for that sake. Oh, Miko, I feel your pain. Miko says, I have issues with relationships of any type because of trauma and because of the fact that I have issues with remembering to communicate with others. There is a great suggestion I just learned about called a contact log, right? And what you can do is you make a note. Like, I'm keeping this in my day-to-day journal stuff, so I haven't really needed to do it yet. I've gotten much better at keeping in contact with the people I care about. You may have noticed, right? Not perfect, but better, right? So, because I have the same problem. It's a combination of trauma plus wall of awful ADHD, right? Plus ADHD in terms of time is a weird soup. And I sometimes don't realize it's been a month since I talked to you because I've been involved doing other shit. It's not that I don't care. It's that I am absolutely oblivious to the passage of time. And this is one of the reasons why this is very helpful to me, because it keeps track of time. Yeah. Yeah, same. Remembering to call people even on birthdays is a thing. Stupid autism, says Atoru. Sam says, my hubs and I have a roomie, and I found him far more OCD, ADHD than I originally thought with her living here. Yeah, I get that, right? When another adult is sharing your space, it can get on your nerves. You have to develop ways to deal with that. I get it. All right, so... yeah, so anyway, I have a little Halloween mural, and then this will be the second to last pages here in October. This is memories. Preserving memories I wanted to keep track of. Little notes about them, right? Like, let me see if I can... yeah, saw raccoons for the first time. Mama and 3 youngsters along the road, right? Shit like that. So... you can also make pictures, right? Which you can, either glue in or put on, like, say, photos of things you want to remember. And like, I'm gonna do that with some stuff in December. Print them on sticker paper, put them in the book, right? Or you can just glue them in. Glue works, whatever you want to do. These were actually obviously tags from the fall setup, and I thought there's usually stuff like this. I think they're intended for journaling notes. And I tend to, when I get a set of that kind of thing, I put them on a page and I use them like this. So, here's a thing for Thanksgiving, and then a thing for Halloween memories, right? And then this is brain dump, which is where I write ideas and other shit that don't fit other categories, right? So, and this is where I started coming up with ideas for different journals. Probably not next time. We're almost at the end of this stream here, right? But probably a couple weeks from now, we're going to start getting into my long-term journal that I've started doing. Some of these ideas have made it into the long-term journal. I went, okay, this journal has lasted me about 4 months. I'm going to be starting a new book in January, right? And, one thing I don't want to do is take something that I'm going to use for months at a time, like, say, all the GOT passwords, right? And move it over every 4 months to a new journal. What a pain in my ass, right? So I'm just going to have a single journal, Here, I'll give you a little preview. Single journal, which is intended for things like that. Actually, here. Since I started talking about it. I decided for this one my theme was going to be space because that is always evergreen for me. Here's an index because this is not going to be in a typical order. The daily journal has a pretty established layout, right? So everything's roughly going to be in a similar place. This one, I'm putting in stuff that doesn't fit in here, basically. So I needed to make an index. So what I'm going to be doing is this is pretty typical of a bullet journal. You put the page numbers on the bottom of the page or the top of the page or whatever, and then you index it, right? This is one of these Tombow markers. We'll be talking about more of that later. It's like a watercolor marker. I love them. Okay. Made more room for my index. I moved the Saveopoly into the long-term journal because it's a feature. We're going to use it every month. We're going to use it every week. We love it. And here I color-coded things like what our current bank account balance is in our savings account. And here I codified, like, you know, this is where we landed over the course of the week, color-coded by the color of the square. Yeah, and don't share passwords on stream. Exactly. Don't worry, I won't be. Probably why I'm showing you this now. I left some room for that. This is home improvement projects that we want to get done. My thought is, I was very proud of my little minimalist nighttime scene with the moon sticker and the house sticker and snow, right? But what I'm going to do is I made a list of projects we want to do, right? And then we decide which one has the most priority, and then we start looking into the budget for it, and then we do it. And when we're done, we check it off and we move on to the next project, right? So I got a little overwhelmed looking at how many projects. This is made with a stencil, a drafting stencil, the little squares. Amazing, that's the combination that's on my luggage, Magpie. Yeah, I've seen the movie. This is what I spent a good deal of yesterday doing. I made swatches because Erin bought me a bunch of new supplies and I wanted to know what all the colors were and what they looked like so that I would know what pen to use with what, because otherwise it's too much. So, yeah. Anyway, that's my long-term journal so far. I just started it. I'll talk more about the materials used there later, because that's really interesting, but we're almost at the end of the stream. Yeah, this is my last thing. Brain dump. This is where all the shit goes that I need to write down that doesn't go anywhere else. So mostly it tends to be ideas for things, right? Here's where I came up with the idea for the trackers I was going to do for Game of Tones in November. Next week, we're going to be looking at the November layouts, and I have a lot of things in there for writers that may be of particular use for you, because Game of Tones we do every November, and I, devote myself to writing, as a lot of the people here in the community do, and I wanted to keep track of that, and I may have some stuff in there that will be helpful to you. So that's basically where I'm going to stop for today, because we've been going for about an hour and a half, I think. In the meantime, let me catch up on the chat here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, right? Miko says, I often read messages from people and think I responded, but only thought I sent the response. I didn't send it. Okay. Yes. Right. I do this a lot on Discord because I'm like, I catch the most likely time I catch messages is first thing in the morning. Right. So I start composing my reply. Right. But then if there's any chance that anything I could say might be misinterpreted or taken in a tense way, right? Then, or requires some thought. Like, people are asking me questions about a project that we're working on together, because we do a lot of group projects in Game of Tones. So I'm like, okay, right? And if it requires my brain at all, I start typing the response, and then I wait until I've had my coffee and I'm more awake before I send it. And if I haven't been sleeping well, I'm less likely to send it because I forget that I haven't sent it. Right. So if you haven't heard from me for a few days, I'm probably not ignoring you. I probably have a message sitting in the queue that I haven't sent yet. But maybe that's a good way to beat that as a contact log. I think I'll try that for January and we'll see how we do. I've already done my layout for December. It's a little late for that. I'm starting in December. I'm making a point of getting in touch with people that I don't get in touch with frequently as a way of improving my relationships. It's one of the extra challenges things I've set for myself in December. And I'm, going to give that a try, right? So, Flub says, am I strange that I don't need an intimate relationship in my life? Nope. Miko says, but I don't want to be annoying, so I don't check in on them. And soon it's been 3 weeks and they think I don't care. Plus, I often forget what day of the week it is even. That's what this is for. Stuff like that. Right? That's why I started keeping this. And because I'm organizing a lot of my thoughts and writing them out. First of all, it helps me get clear on them. Second of all, it helps me remember what I did from day to day. Third, it, helps flush extra crap out of my head that's otherwise overfilling it. And it's making it less difficult for me to concentrate on important details, right? Yeah, I get you. I have the same problem, the exact same problem. I understand it completely. So that is part of why I'm doing this. Get my shit together and stuff like that. I don't want people to think I don't care. Of course I care. I'm just dense. Right. Yeah. Isn't this the stressy thing? I'm sorry, Nova, I don't understand what that was connected to. I don't care, she does. Says Erin, yeah. The home improvement log. Yes, that was the stressy thing. Yeah, I started doing the list of home improvements we wanted to do to get it all sorted out in my brain. And I went, there's a lot more here than I thought. This is going to cost thousands of dollars and take years. But I mean, I guess it's part of why you do it, right? I make the list and then I know what has to be done and then I can prioritize it and then I can work on it one at a time. It's a way of eating the elephant one bite at a time, right? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. How do you write a novel? One word at a time. How do you do home improvement? One project at a time, right? Yeah. Yeah. One thing I apparently need to work on majorly is emotional cues. I'm very bad with those. Yeah, fair enough. Right? And Flub says, I'm just used to you being like that now. I've stopped worrying so much because I know I haven't annoyed you. Exactly. It's not you, it's me, and I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. If you haven't heard from me in a while and you want to, poke me. And go, hey, it's been like 2 weeks since we've talked. Oh, shit, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for that to happen. How are you? Yeah, but I'm hoping to get better. Home improvement log. Mine would look like boof, says Miko. That's hilarious. Okay, knowing what I know about your house, maybe? Yeah. Oh my. Oh my. Yeah, mine's just tidy, tidy, tidy. That's the kind of thing you can also keep track of, like, daily. Oh, okay. You know what? I'm going to jump ahead a bit. I'm going to jump ahead a bit because I started doing a thing in December that I think would be helpful for that kind of stuff. Okay, so for a while I wasn't logging when I was streaming. But now I am. That's what these colors are. Right? That's the bullet journaling stream, the one we're doing today. These are the writing streams. This is Sable's World Forge, right? And anything yellow is special. So it's like the GOT results stream, the lore stream that I intend to do for Yule. Hopefully I'm finished things. I probably won't be at this point. I don't think that's going to happen. I just, there's lines from people I don't have yet, and I can't finished till I've done them. And I haven't even started some of the mixing because it's, yeah, anyway. Yeah, it's confusing, but yeah, anyway. It's more likely to be done near the end of the month. Anyway, right, point being is that, so I started to track the kind of stream, right? But you could do these color things for this, right? With like, say laundry day, right? Or bath day, right? Or, clean the kitchen day or whatever, right? And just, here's my little key for that there, right? And you could put that there. This is grocery list. I'll talk about it like more later, but I call it buy this shit. This is stuff we have to buy that I notice, and I put it here because otherwise I forget to tell the guys. Hey Eli, how are you? You got here just in time for the end, really? I'm sorry to say, but it's good to see you. All right. I think that's where I am going to call this, though, because... Oh, my closet exploded into my bedroom. Yeah, clean up my room. That's my goal for 2025, right? Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, oh, the electricity, hell, the insulation thing hasn't been fixed yet. Ugh. Yeah, Nova, I have the same problem. I'm weeding my clothes, too. It's part of the thing I'm doing for decluttering. Yeah. The bots didn't get let out again? Nope, not while I'm apparently actively talking on the stream. They try to sneak them in when they think we're not paying attention. They don't realize there's somebody here all the time. Anyway, guys, this was a real pleasure. Thank you for joining me. I hope that something I've said has been interesting or helpful. I'm going to try to put together a series of little YouTube shorts where if I hear myself do something in one of these streams that sounds like a good little tip, I will try to save it as a shorter video, right? And pleasure to meet you, Sam. Thanks for stopping in. Love to everybody else. And we'll see you tomorrow for Sable's World Forge, which is still going to be here for the time being. So that's noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. in the UK. I think that's 6 o'clock in the morning in Australian Eastern Time. And it'll be my regular writing stream, guys. Pomodoro sprints and conversation. So, love, guys. Have a great rest of your day.